Hey guys, just as promised, I'm going to give you a quick essay review video. Just want you to do the best that you can as you're taking your Unit 4W this week. Of course, you're starting out with your prompt page and you're crossing out the read and you're crossing out the think. We're not going to even look at that information because those are those distractors and we want to stay away. So you're just going to circle the part that says write the essay. Okay, so again, look away from those distractors and go straight for your actual prompt. Okay, that's the line that says write. All right, and you're going to pick out those keywords to determine what you're supposed to write about. All right, and remember, we're not going to forget about this little cheat sheet here that we're going to come back to before we turn our essay in, because we want to make sure that we've done those things. So that's like our revision checklist, okay? Make sure that you've done these things before you turn it in, okay, guys? This is a big deal. It'll make all the difference in your points. So from there, we're going to just draw out those 6 boxes. We're going to brainstorm possible examples about our topic in the categories, as many as we can. And then we're going to strike through the ones that we don't know anything about, circle the one that we know the most about and that is unique. Okay. And then from there, now we've got our example and we can start crafting our essay around our example. I say crafting because we're writing everything on purpose. Okay. So we're going to start building our thesis statement, which answers the prompt and gives our because. So we're going to say blank is important because, or blank is beneficial because, or whatever those keywords are. Some of your prompts ask about importance, some ask about beneficial, some use other words. Okay, so don't just assume it's those. Go back and look at the keywords. In this prompt, the keyword here is beneficial. All right, so don't write about importance if it's beneficial. So you're going to create that statement and using your prompt keywords, you're answering the prompts. The because is coming from the example that you chose and why it fits the topic, okay? So if something is important, why is it important to the topic? If it's asking about beneficial, how is your example beneficial to the topic? Just whatever it is, it has to fit the topic, okay? So you're crafting everything around that example. So once you've got your thesis statement, you're ready to go and use your scratch paper. Just take up the entire page, guys. Don't be shy. And just draw the outline that you learned in class with all of the parts. If you haven't started memorizing those parts, I highly encourage that you memorize those parts, okay? It'll make your writing process so much easier. So you get your rough outline started and then you start filling it in. We've already got our thesis, and so that's part of our intro. So we're going to add in our hook, which is our creative sentence that draws the reader in. We might use some figurative language, similes, metaphors, puns, things that we can use throughout the whole paper that tie back in. That'll get us up in that 4 level. And then we're going to write our second sentence, which is our background statement. And that's just a general sentence about the topic. And then we've got our big money statement. That's our thesis that we're going to have in there, okay? Nowhere in this intro are you to mention your example. Do not mention your example, okay? Do not. Stop. All right. Now that you've got your intro written, you're going to move on to your body paragraph. Now, this is the other big part that you've got to have is your example, okay? And it must be a concrete example. So the first sentence says, for example, and then it introduces your topic, or your example. All right. And then from there, once you've done that, you're going to need detail sentences and an explanation, which we'll come back to in just a minute. So to figure out what details you're going to use, you're going to draw this star on your other piece of scratch paper. You're going to put your example in the middle and just start naming some details about your example that your reader would be interested to know that would help to prove your thesis, things that you just want to write about. And guys, this is your time to shine, your time to really write about something that you care about or want others to know about. Don't forget to link your detail sentences together with transitions like these. So you'll go back to that body paragraph, and now you're going to start creating those detailed sentences with specific, well-chosen details that prove the thesis. So we're not just adding all the things that we can possibly think about our topic. We are choosing what to write about because it proves our thesis. And then we end with our explanation sentence that connects back to the prompt and the thesis, stealing some keywords or at least synonyms of the keywords, solidifying your proof that your example proves your thesis. Everything points back to the thesis. It's your job to prove that your thesis is true. And so that is what you are doing with that explanation sentence. Okay. Now, once you're done with the body paragraph, you're almost home. We move on to the conclusion paragraph. 2 sentences, guys, okay? You just need 2 sentences. How many sentences? 2 sentences. That's all that you need. The first one restates that thesis, okay? Use synonyms and similar ideas. Avoid repetition because that knocks you down from like that 3 and that 4 to that 2. Then you add your societal connection, which tells the impact of the topic on society. Notice it tells the impact of the topic, not the example. So it's just a broad statement, and it can start with things like because of whatever your topic is, or without whatever the topic is, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it puts a nice bow on it. That's a great way to end it. And there you have it. You've got your entire essay written. Now it's time for you to go ahead and start writing that final draft on your lined page. And as you do, here are some really great transition words and phrases for you to be thinking of. You want meaningful transition words and phrases. And so just look through these, maybe jot down some of your favorites so that you can just kind of put them into your memory. All right. And then I'll link this slide up to Canvas so that you can study it. But remember the fanboys and those different conjunctions, okay? Those different transition phrases that will really to help to glue everything together. Guys, I hope that this is helpful. I really want you to ace this essay. We have worked so hard this year, and this is your time to show us what you know and what you've learned and to show off what an awesome writer you've become. I can't wait to see how great you all do.